These are some celebrities that went bankrupt. So Mike Tyson declared bankruptcy at $32 million in debt after purchasing over 100 luxury vehicles, 3 Bengal tigers, and even a $2 million bathtub. 50 Cent also declared bankruptcy for $32 million in debt, though his losses can be chalked up to failed business deals. Drake Bell filed for bankruptcy in 2014, owing $500,000 to the IRS as a result of inflated expenses and just an income of $2,500 per month. Athletes are notoriously bad, with Michael Vick declaring bankruptcy in 2008 as a result of his role in a dogfighting ring, landing him in prison. Vince Young wiped out a $25 million fortune because of personal spending habits, including $5,000 every week at the Cheesecake Factory. And finally, Joe Giudice from The Real Housewives filed for bankruptcy for $11 million after being charged for defrauding lenders and ended up being deported to Italy.
So I started this channel to address misunderstandings around the economy as well as finances right now. And I wanted to start off by saying, please do not compare, diminish, devalue, or tarnish yourself or others because of the money they don't have or assets that they may lack. These are people that we have watched over the years. These are people who have flexed on us, said they had this amount of money, this amount of cars, this amount of assets. These are the people. This conversation is important because it highlights that the grass really is not greener. And this is all a facade. Society and the quote-unquote system will make you out to be a less than human or a less than citizen because of what you don't have. And these people do not have. It doesn't matter if you're making $50,000 a year or if you're making $50 million a year. If you cannot manage your money and if you are spending more than you are making, you are essentially broke. Living above their means, maxing out credit, borrowing from a lot of people. This sounds like regular people lives, just on a completely different scale. Almost everybody goes through it in some shape or fashion, but the celebrities, they can file bankruptcy and still come back and make money from their likeness. It is not at all an equal playing field whatsoever. All this man has to say is okay, I'll take pictures with you and we can do funny poses, and he'll charge everybody between $50 and $100 and make his money back off of his likeness because he's a celebrity. The facade, the status, the greed, the deception, Hollywood, the 1%, the quote-unquote system is all wrapped up in one and sealed with a bow tie. So as quote-unquote regular folks, we do have to maybe pick up that extra shift. We do have to work later hours. We do have to pick up an extra gig on the side. We do have to do our best, but please find things and people that make you happy, that make you laugh, that, you actually enjoy, that can distract you from the literal nonsense. This is pure nonsense. These people are making money that some people will never see in their lives.
You guys all probably know that pretty well-known TikToker. Her name is Tara. Well, she recently posted a video on another website that you have to pay for, and she charged for this video $15, and basically she's talking about how she can't afford her bill, she can't afford her mortgage because she just does not make enough on this app or her other streams of income. And I recently watched her YouTube video, and she was talking about getting pit tickets for, I want to say it was an MGK concert. Do not quote me on that. I cannot remember. And then she was also talking about a trip to Nashville, and she also just bought a 100-gallon fish tank. I don't know about her area, but I know a fish tank like that for my area is at least $400. And I'm like, babe, if you are struggling with your mortgage and your bills, why are we spending money on this?
So this is audacity at its finest. Allegedly, she was making about $300,000 a month. So we can say that her monthly bills start at least, $50,000? So she has to make at least that amount for her mortgage, her bills, and whatever she puts in her videos to continue influencing. That is her level of broke. But this is actually insane to me. Imagine making millions and still ending up broke. Understand that a lot of these celebrities don't just spend money, they build their entire identity around looking rich consistently.
For making $120,000 a month just on Twitch, then it just slowly started to decline from 60 to 40 grand a month, then 20 grand a month, then 10 grand a month, and then I had a month where I made 2 grand a month. My rent was $5,000 a month at the time. I would go shopping or buy food or whatever. I was losing 10 to 20 grand a month. So I was noticing a decline in my bank really quick.
Just my finances. The budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing. I've never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm we have to go to H&M.
Yeah.
A part of me wants to be like, okay, if this is the life somebody was introduced to, this is the life that they were brought into, and they had to downsize, we can say you're going through a transitional time. To even act like shopping at H&M is such a drastic change for somebody who has come from a situation like you is mind-boggling. There are people who cannot even shop right now. There are people who can't even afford to get everything they want at thrift stores.
Bro, if I don't make over 50,000 in a month, I'm negative. Literally. I ain't gonna make no money. So I gotta work. I have no choice.
You still gonna be blessed though, because a lot of people, majority of people don't make that in a whole year.
But that's how I can keep up. I literally have to make 50,000.
So, just touching back on how much people have to make to even maintain their lifestyle, here it is, 50,000. And this is also another case of somebody who didn't, wasn't born into wealth. Why not take the approaches to downsize? And for somebody spending 50,000, I know you can get that down to 30 and still live a certain luxurious type of lifestyle. But they have to keep up with the cars, the women. They have to get them nice things, jewelry, bags. They have to show people, I have not just one condo, I have not just one mansion, I have multiple.
I just woke up to find out that my main source of income, TikTok, is not paying me anymore. They kicked me out of the creator fund. They didn't give me any warning, and they took away all the money I made this month. Every ounce, every dollar they took away. And let me tell you why. Because apparently I have a business account, which I never even remembered even switching from a personal to a business account, but apparently I did. And they kicked me out, no warning. I know you guys are gonna say I'm whining and all that, but no warning, which is interesting. No notification, which is interesting. And they're just kicking me out. Now the big thing is, I can't even appeal it. I literally can't even appeal it. It's grayed out. What is this? You don't even give me a chance to explain. So I submitted a report elsewhere but I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, this is my main source of income. And this is how I afford the food.
There's a lot of conversation about content creators going broke. There are a lot of content creators that's going broke, but I guess it's a little different for me because when you're raised in the inner city of Detroit and you don't really have anything, you kind of approach it a couple different ways. So for example, I just kind of look at it as points on the board. I don't have no pride when it comes to getting a regular job. People acting like just because they had a little bit of visibility or they was popping on the internet that they can't get a regular job. Like, where they do that at? I'll still work a regular job today. I'll still go and work an overnight shift. It really doesn't matter how much money that I have, because for me, again, it's all points on the board. I don't ever want to go broke, but at the same time, I'm not immune to going back to being a software engineer. I'm not immune to, going to get a regular job. I don't mind DoorDashing and Uber Eats and driving for Uber or Lyft if I have to. So all of this pride and then worrying about what other people think on the internet is weird to me. Because how you gonna worry about people that ain't never been there? At least you got there. So you gotta leave it all on the floor. Do I think that people need to be more financially savvy? Absolutely. When you get it, you're gonna have to get it out of your system. A lot of people in the earlier parts of getting these big checks, when you start to get big checks, and checks are relative, when you start to get this stuff, you're gonna have to get it out of your system. The first year or two, if you're able to survive through that, you just gonna spend it, you're gonna blow it. You're gonna buy all of the things that you never knew you needed and wanted, and then you're gonna start to have a conversation about how you can maintain it. That's when you start to make the investments. And of course, I think that people should make the investments beforehand, before they ever go broke. But to see people reading comments of content creators going broke as though they wouldn't do the same thing, I don't believe you. Because everybody say the same thing until they get the money, until they get the visibility. And so the better conversation I think to have is what happens after you get there. How do we create the lessons that allow for people to not make the same mistakes as people that came before us? Thankfully, I went broke earlier in my life before I got all of this visibility, and now I'm used to it. So again, it doesn't mean much to me. I think people put too much stock in it. People go broke every day. You'll get more money.
I actually agree with a lot of points in his video. Some people in their journey of financial literacy and understanding money, they do have to blow it. Sometimes they do have to lose it to understand the importance of it. Some people. But I definitely agree with the pride. You know how many of these celebrities and influencers talk down on other people who have to make a living for themselves and their families? Who say, oh, I'll never do that, I'll never do this, or not even say it. They don't. These people are not just applying to jobs. These people are not picking up extra gigs. These people are not, like he said, DoorDashing and Instacarting. They're not doing that. They're going online and asking people if they can give them galaxies. Just so appalling that the amount of money that these people have made, that they didn't save even a tiny bit for a rainy day or for the future. So not alone did you not save, but now you're asking regular people who go to work every single day to support you. That doesn't make any sense. It just makes me think, what are you going to do for the next 5, 10, 15 years just to keep asking and begging from your followers and supporters for money or what? Like, what is the end goal? I can see if these people were getting online and asking, okay, well, who are some recruiters? Who are some talent managers? Who are, people who can really put them in position to actually gain stability in their life?